I think we're on, folks. Good afternoon, everybody. It's the Truth Serum. I appreciate your support. Happy holidays to everybody. Uh, the channel, the subscribers are going up, and I tell you personally, through the chats and all of that stuff, not like all the other these other guys. I'm here. You come in the chat, we talk, we throw things around. So I'm very grateful for that. Uh, and Holidays, enjoy. Don't get too depressed. Um, that's the time of year. Tis the season to be jolly, or tis the season to be depressed. So I hope you guys can find some support if you're struggling, and don't go to this, don't go to this. Find somebody to talk to. If you need somebody to talk to, come in the chat. And I'm a slurper, so sorry about that. Uh, so I put in the thumbnail the Mafia, the bodies, the Niagara River, and I never participated in any situation of a murder or anything like that. I was nobody. I didn't aid in a bad or any of that kind of stuff. I never did anything like that. This is all later on after the fact and all that. So, but so the Niagara River, I remember like certain times I would bring a guy down there, and then he told me to park. Now, the Niagara River, Niagara Mohawk Electric, Niagara Falls, that's a current. That's a strong current. There's undercurrents, and you would never be able to swim there, never. So, and at one time I went down there, and I was like, "What are you doing?" See, there was these little places where, like, toward the shore, little inlets where the flow wouldn't be that strong, and maybe around where they had those power things, those cement square bricks, and that was more accessible to the river. What I'm trying to say. The time I went down there, and he was like, "Oh, Joe, go back up, go back to the car," and there was a shoe that, like how it just gets stuck, like the river's flowing, and but on the sides of near the banks, there's breaches where stuff could build up, like cans and whatever litter, and so he was like, and I saw a shoe, and he got pissed off. He was seeing they would go back. They were dumping bodies in the Niagara River like there's no tomorrow. You're never gonna find a body. You're never gonna find a body. They would chop people. They would. There was well, I don't know how anybody in the mafia would kill somebody and just have a body, sitting somewhere or whatever. So, you can just mulch them. It sounds barbaric. I'm not a violent psycho guy, but if you're in that game, use your head a little bit. Just they have those mulchers. I don't know if some guys have the heart to do that kind of stuff, or the guts or the stomach to do it. Yeah, I know it's easy to just pull the trigger or something, but uh if it means going away for life, I think you try to do whatever you can. But them guys, there was a guy that came in the club, and he was having a dispute. He was a bad actor. I don't know if he was from Brooklyn or Syracuse or Cleveland, but he was a wise guy. I know that. And they were having a dispute, and I remember they're all dressed nice, and I had bought some Giorgio Brutini shoes, Italian leather, Giorgio Brutini, not Stacy Adams. And so I checked the shoes out, and 2 days later, 3 days later, the guy wanted me to go down there, and he was like, "Oh, there's a good fishing spot over here," and I was like, "Yeah, okay, whatever, whatever." And I saw the shoe floating like that. I went, "That's the shoe," because it's rare. Not everybody wears them. Not everybody wears them shoes. And I shrieked. I shrieked, "Yeah, Jojo, we'll come down here and try to catch something near the shore because there's perfect pit where they have the water inlets, and then they have the power, the electrical stuff at those power stations. They're along the Niagara River. There's these little power stations, and there might be a little building, and then there's a cement thing you could stand on." And he said, get back up to the car. Go back up to the car. It was a trail, very accessible. And I could see what he was doing, trying to get a, a stick or something long to get that shoe. I don't know what the heck happened. I mean, well, those are strong currents. If you get stuck, I don't know, but unless it was innocent, I don't know. But um, they were when that crew got went missing, and I was already gone. I was gone. I didn't want nothing to do with that. I was educated. I wanted to go find a regular job, and my office job with Mike Mike S, selling steel, that came to an end, and so I just wanted to go out into the world and forget about all that kind of stuff. But the fallout from all of that, the families, a lot of see the Sam retired. He was not accessible to anybody of the crew's family members to go ask questions. And plus, I would think twice because that crew might have been gone, but he's got people on Rolodex that is like, "Hey, somebody's bothering me." Boom, 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 like my godfather. So they were coming around. Uh, we haven't seen this, a wife or a brother. We haven't seen Jimmy in a while. We haven't seen Rick or what, and I was like, well, I don't know. I don't know where they are. I don't know. They go gambling. They go to Vegas. They go to strip clubs. They go to Atlantic City. And they, my guess is they ended up in the river. And my godfather did work for the Colombos, and he knew this area very well, and I would guess that he did it. I would guess that. I'm just guessing, just speculation, but I'm guessing that he did it because there was a time during that window of time. I went to my hometown, and I went to the diner, and an old friend said, "Oh, your godfather Mickey was here," and stuff. And I was like, "Well, geez, how come he didn't get a hold of me?" But then we did, and you know, he was asking me questions about Niagara Falls and how's everything going. I says, well, I'm all done there. Yeah, there's, uh, you know, whatever's going on because I had some problems prior to that, and he helped me straighten me. He helped get me out of some of those problems when I got in trouble with talking shit to one of the made men, and then the rules, right? The rules of that bullshit. So the Niagara River, there must have been so many bodies at the bottom of that, at the bottom of the falls, or you know, wherever it accesses down, uh, tons of bodies. And um, I think one time a fisherman uh, that was further up, different little inlets where people would fish or whatever, um, found something, a limb or whatever. I found something. I remember hearing about it years later, but um, I don't know why you would chop a body up first and then throw it in the river. Just throw it in the river. Nobody's ever gonna find it. Nobody's ever gonna. A scuba diver can't go down there in those currents. Not even if he's tethered to something. They can't do it. They can't do it. The Buffalo Mob, the Magadinos, and those mob families. I would guess they were doing it. I would guess they were dumping bodies there. Um, but like, see, Buffalo Niagara Falls, you never heard like, oh, a gangster's body was found in a trunk of a car, or a gangster's body, or a gangster was shot to death in his car, and then they just leave him. And then they got forensics. They got a bullet. They might have a witness. If they could get somebody at the club in a vulnerable spot, they can hem them up, get them, uh, and then take total control of them and go out there. There was a they had those the landscape of the river where you could walk out a little ways too. There's uh you could walk out a little ways, but if you were gonna dump the body, you'd want to make sure there'd be clearance before, because maybe it would go up against that break wall. I think they would call it a break thing like that, but it only goes out so far. And so I would imagine you'd want to bring that body all the way to the end, so there's nothing else that could catch us on. I'm just guessing. I don't know. I mean, if they're gonna think about being safe and not get caught. So uh them guys that got disbanded, Sam retired, and some of the guys' brothers or cousins were trying to find me at the racetrack or off track betting, and they were trying to be aggressive with me because they knew who my godfather was, and they figured, well, maybe uh some of those guys that had threatened me prior to that, and and then we didn't know, well, they didn't know who was cooperating, and the boss was retiring, and there were some bad actors in those crews, and I think he just wanted to maybe ride off into the sunset and not have anybody alive that could possibly incriminate him later on while he's in retirement. And so I would guess that, being the Colombo family, my godfather took care of whatever that was, and some of the crew knew. Some of the crew's brothers and cousins knew that he was my godfather and did work. So they were just like, "Oh, well, we know your godfather." Well, I was like, "No, he's in New York City. He ain't around here. I don't know nothing about that shit. Go to New York and ask him. Go ask Sam. Go find out whatever. You don't know." But he was very intelligent, and if he did, I don't know if he put the bodies in the river or uh, most of the time his work was so clean that, well, maybe sometimes he was impulsive. He told me that he hung a guy out of a window that owed a lot of money. He owed a guy in a high rise. New York City's got all the high rise buildings, and he was trying to scare him. And my godfather Mickey was, like, he could have played. He got recruited. He could have played NFL football, and he was pretty strong. And he was going to scare the guy and hang him out of the window by his feet, and it slipped off. So, but that's dirty work there. That's dirty, where there's witnesses, but I mean, people must have saw him go up the, big buildings. They could see you. There was no camera surveillance back then, but I would say that was a dirty job he did. Being seen, or maybe if he entered with a baseball cap, and sometimes those wise guys had glasses that were dark shade like that, or they let their beards grow out, and if he was on contract, maybe he would do mostly surveil and then wait for the right spot. When you hear about these assassins and this killing and murder for hire and all of that kind of stuff, the true professional will first case for a long time, a week, 2 weeks, look and see what the target, the potential victim, see what their tendencies are, see what their routine is, their daily routine, and then while they're gathering all that, and they'll say, "Oh, well, he usually goes sees his mistress on whatever time, and usually around 2:30. Hey, Kimmy, everything's good. Happy holidays." I talk to my people here. You know how I play. So he would watch, and then maybe this guy's got a whore. He's married, but he's got a whore somewhere, and he knows the person's movements, the person's actions, and these killers, they just don't go, "Oh, hey, there he is on West and Fifth," and and then and then they bum right. No, some are stupid and they go down like retards, but uh that's why he got paid. He was very cerebral, very, very intelligent, and of course, he didn't want to get caught. So he would take a lot of time out. He told me a lot of stories before he passed away. And then sometimes I wonder if it's right for me to talk about that stuff. But them guys were alive. They would smash me. There's old timers that are 80. They don't want me doing these videos. They want to kick me in the nuts. They want to smash my. You think these 70-year-old Italian guys and 75-year-old 80, they still got strong hands. They're built like hickory. Some of them. If they cuff you, they'll cuff you. You'll feel it. Some of them ain't just fragile old guys. So he would surveil, and then he'd wait at the right time. A lot of them like to party, a lot of them like to drink, and a lot of them cheated. Or if they were single, they had whores everywhere, strippers and whores everywhere, and they would make their money. And yeah, they find that weak spot. They would make money, gambling ring, and whatever they got paid, and they would just blow it. They weren't supposed to be doing drugs, but they were. So when you hear Mike Francis, whatever, all these guys saying, "Oh, they didn't do drugs," well, they sold drugs too. They sold drugs. The Colombo family sold drugs. Pretty near most of them. I'm guessing it might not come to public knowledge if you don't rub elbows with everybody. Believe me, they sold drugs. I would bet all five families. So these guys, they blew their checks, they did money, they had whores, and they gambled and lost their money. They were running a gambling ring, getting paid, and then losing money to Tony M, another family's guy. They're losing money to other bookies that are underlings of other family. Could have been Gambino, or it could have just been another Colombo book that was removed geographically from there. Because you're not going to bet into your own crew boss's book. So they were losing money, degenerates, and the times that they so my godfather, I got off track there. I'm getting old. I'm getting old here. So he would wait, and then, like, if a guy, I'm guessing, I'm just guessing here. So a guy leaves his whore's house. It's 3:30 in the morning. Uh and my godfather's got the whole street everything figured out. And he'd say, maybe, "Hey, I'm trying to Jimmy," be following him, put right up, "Jimmy, come here. They want to see you over at the club or something," and make something up, and have intimate information where the guy wouldn't say, "Oh, who the hell are you?" Or he'd be like, "Oh," or whatever, but he'd be weak. He'd be weak. And or somehow to get his attention, and hit him. He would just hit him. My dad screwed up years ago, thought he knew the best horse to build a was. He had to get a loan to pay the boss, or he would have been on the bottom of the lake. Yeah, that's tough. I don't know why they hit guys. My godfather intimidated a lot of them because a dead man can't pay what he owes. But they would use intimidation and beat the shit out of somebody, and but the Sam, he didn't really want well, a couple guys got whacked that owed, and there was dirty pool. I mean, when you're a degenerate gambler, and then you're in deep, and then you owe this family, and then you owe another family, and then they have a meeting of the minds, and then it gets ugly, because what happens when you got these guys that have nowhere left to go? They've borrowed from the they borrowed from the loan sharks. They've stole everything they can. They've blew everything they can, and now they know that their days are numbered. And then what happens next? They go to the FBI. They go to the FBI. So when you're thinking about that, then it's just like, who can beat who to the punch? And maybe they might have to guess and go, he went so bad. He got beat up a couple times. My godfather smashed him around, broke his whatever. He don't need a baseball bat. A baseball bat. No. And well, now the guy's scared, and the guy knows he doesn't have the money, so they blast him. They throw him in the Niagara River. They just throw him in the Niagara River. Mr. Spataro, happy holidays. Kimmy, new person in here, and I don't really know what that picture is, but uh, so uh, this holiday season, it reminded me of when uh, I think that when they threw that guy in there, and then there was a few other ones pulling the towel. Thank you, Mr. Spataro. Uh, my personal opinion is that they were hitting guys and driving the bodies to the Niagara River, not just the people from Western New York. They were, because sometimes they would check the dumper field, landfills or whatever, and the guys got caught for stupid reasons. But I think that if they were killing somebody, they were. And see, when you down there at that time, now there's probably a lot more uh build things that got produced. But back then there were places to access that river where you would have to walk, or you could just drive your car down to a certain spot. I'm saying that Niagara River must have been like Grand Central Station with people dumping bodies. I mean, hmm, who are these people that are putting? Do you want their first and last names, Mr. Spataro? Who are these people that are putting these killer gangsters, killers? They're throwing the bodies in the river. Some of them went in a mulcher, tree mulchers. Ugh. And then you have a bag of mulched whatever, and then you throw that in the river because you could still get DNA on bone and on bone matter. So, mm, so it was this time of year I remember sometimes, and you know, fed to hogs. Yeah. Oh, they got those special. There's so many stories about uh you know, a guy had a lion. A guy had a lion in his basement, or a tiger. Some psychopath. I don't know who the hell it was, the gallows or some extravagant person. But it's just that's sloppy. That's sloppy. That's just too sloppy. But I want to just do a video. Uh the Mafia, yeah, the Magadinos didn't play. The Magadinos didn't play. And those Tadaros, uh if one of you are watching, one of the Tadaros, how you doing? Descendants of the Tadaros, how you doing? My friend, I hope happy holidays to you and your family. And oh, Rochester. Okay, Kimmy. Remember Big Gene DeFrancisco? Big Gene DeFrancisco. He used to come to the racetrack, and I met him. He used to stand next to my mother. Yeah. Joe Tadaro. Yeah. He's got descendants. I think they live in, well, they don't live around here. Well, the one I knew doesn't live around here. I don't want to, but yeah, I lived in Rochester for a little while, and Big Gene, uh, yeah, Finger Lakes, Batavia, Batavia Downs Racetrack, Finger Lakes Racetrack. Just gamble. I've been betting horses since I was 10. So, and then I ran around, and I never was a made guy. I wasn't some tough guy and all that kind of shit. But my godfather was with the Colombos, and Big Gene from Rochester. His wife wrote a book called Married to the Mob. That's Big Gene. Yeah. Hardcore you could play. So I come on here. My channel doesn't have all those bells and whistles and all that introduction. I get on here, kill some time, tell a story of a lovely lady, and then we throw it around a little bit. The Grand Island Bridge. Man, this New York State is just turning communistic. This New York State just gouge. They're worse than they're worse than gangsters. But we had a lot of fun. And I remember the one time the boss, Sam, said, go back down there where you gave so-and-so a ride and just go by yourself and go to this area and just look around. Well, what am I looking for, Sam? And then go to this other area and look around, bring a fishing pole and just whatever, and then just look around. Okay. I'll do it. Just innocent stuff. So, they do it nonchalant, then you connect the dots and it's just like, yeah, really, Sam? Yeah. I mean, I thought I had some street smarts and some common sense and some psychology behind me, but but the best thing to is act stupid and innocent and just go with the flow. And it was easy money to do that. But that's all there is. And I don't know if they ever pulled the body out of there. There was another place, the Niagara River. There was another place. It was a different falls. It was in Western New York, and it was a big gorge that goes down, and it was pretty violent thing. And some people went there too. Some people went there to their demise. It was a falls. No, Taganoa Falls. They might have used that too. If it was falls and violent, see, there's no recovery of them bodies. There's no recovery. There's just no recovery. No body, no crime. So it's just easy. It's easy. And when the old man retired and he had these bad actors, see, he just slipped. Yes. The easiest thing in the book. And forensics can't even say, oh, you know how they can reconstruct an accident, accident or a murder, like, and if you have a certain height and you just got drunk and then just accidentally fell, and then the body wouldn't have propelled out that far, rather than somebody running up and pushing somebody off 80 feet, and then they think that they could reconstruct that forensically by physics and all of that kind of stuff. But sometimes there might be obstacles or a tree or different types of things, or if you're rolling down there and there's so they can never reconstruct that to make a thing. They would have to say unexplained or an accident. So those are clean murders. Those are clean. Those are just straight up clean murders. And they should have been used more. But maybe my godfather was smart on that stuff. And, you get tids and bits of that back then. And then afterwards, when he's 70 and he started having nightmares, and he was a tough guy. Man, it catches up to you. Uh, no, no thing doing Vita the Pit Bull. I heard of a guy called the Pit Bull, but a lot of guys, some crazies back then, Pit Bulls came out, the Pit Bull breed of dog, and then there was a few guys with the nickname Pit Bull. The one guy did he blow up a water bottle and could blow up a water bottle, a feat of strength? There was a Pit Bull that used to uh, blow up like those rubber water bottles. He could blow one up. He was a muscle man. They call him Pit Bull. So I just wanted to come on here, folks. Thank you, Kimmy, Mrs. Pitaro, for coming in here. Quiet afternoon. Happy holidays. And I just was remembering that it was a shame that I was thinking like when some of these guys ended up in the river, it was holidays, Christmas time. It was Christmas time, and they're, that family's husband, the husband didn't come home and the father didn't come home, and they were missing during Christmas. It's bad enough, but then it's during the holidays and New Year's, and they were just gone. But maybe they were sadistic and waited for the holidays, but because that was in the summertime, they were checking whatever to see if there was a sock, shoes, or whatever, or the body drifts. I don't know what, but then it was like the holidays when you would think about it. Oh, all right. Tiendo's a good guy. He's a Siciliano American from Buffalo. Yeah. People don't realize, people just think New York City had the most treacherous wise guys and gangsters. Buffalo, killers are killers. Buffalo and Rochester had some Hall of Famers. Like if somebody who just says, "Oh well, the New York, the New York City killers or wise guys or mob families, they think they're they're the creme de la creme." Montreal, like Vito, good to see you, buddy. From Montreal. Hey, I appreciate people coming in here, but just because of your geographical location, uh, it doesn't mean whether uh, a wise guy from Buffalo is less of a gangster than a wise guy from New York City or anywhere. A killer's a killer. A psychopath is a psychopath. He could be from any geographical location. Them guys. But the families would have their own assassins. But then if there was a certain situation where they would outsource to a more seasoned, refined killer, they would get my godfather, who would put time in. And sometimes if they were going to hit somebody within their own family, and it's personal, because you might be a friend with a guy from kindergarten, and then the order comes that he has to be hit. Of course, sometimes a friend would hit a friend because it's part of the Cosa Nostra, but in certain situations, maybe they told the boss, "Hey, I don't want to do that one," hey, about, mitigating circumstances, and then they would go get him. My godfather knew who they were, but he wasn't having tea and coffee with them. He knew who they were. They were visible. But yeah, it's anybody could be crazy from anywhere. It doesn't mean people are tougher. But Buffalo and Rochester was also Big Gene. He was treacherous. I met him at the racetrack, and he was nice to me. He was a good guy. He was nice. He didn't even know how to read the racing form, but I was picking winners and we were having fun. And he used to come to the track all the time, and he was very generous. But I got educated pretty quick on who he was from people that saw me with him. I'm a young guy, and they were like, "Oh, shoot!" I was like, "I don't care what he's nice to me. He's nice to me." These guys that are assassins or killers or violent, they're just not violent 24/7. They act nice and personable just like anybody else. Them guys up in the falls, they were, there's a side to them, but they were nice, laugh, joke, uh, but there's another side to them. But it wasn't just always uh, violence on the menu or whatever. They're running rackets, they're making things, and once in a while something comes up and it has to be addressed. But it's just not like if the public perception on these YouTube channels is like all these guys did, and all these crime families is just went around and whacked everybody every day. No, no, 95% of the time, it was doing business, running rackets, generating money, and it was an organization like a corporation with a hierarchy, and it was just running. People are gambling, people are doing this just like regular people, just like anybody else. But then a situation would come up, and they'd have to. Binghamton was part of that gambling ring. Yeah, Binghamton was in the mix. That's for sure. So I want to put something out there. The bodies were in the Niagara River, and uh, it was a good spot to dispose of bodies. And it was right around this time of year where it was Christmas time or something, and something that happened in the summer, and then it was finally the time to get him, like 5 months later, 6 months later, and they had ended up there. So but I remember the shoe. I remember seeing that shoe on a guy that come in. I don't know if he was in trouble or what, but they might have been hollering, and it was like the Twilight Zone. So it was like Cinderella. Does the shoe fit? And so I appreciate the folks that come in here. Kimmy, Vito, Mr. Spataro. My subscribers is going up. That's cool. It's been a long road. I've been censored, shut down, and all of that stuff. And like I tell you guys, be the kings and queens. This is just mob stuff, but we all have regular lives, and you got to have good mental health, good relationships. Try to live with happiness and prosperity and consideration for your fellow man. Help the underdog if you could. And it's all good stuff. When you demonstrate that, you bring that back to your world. When you demonstrate that behavior in the ether and the universe, you are an element, and you put out. It's the mirror. It's like a mirror effect. The mirror effect. Be what you want. If you trick yourself even to thinking it, be what you want, and that positivity will draw. You make the impetus. So be the kings and queens. Try not to get down on the world is a vampire. Yeah, you can manifest your reality. What you do is, well, 1 and 1 is 2. So you think the only way to 2 is you got to get 1 and 1. So if 2 is the expected outcome, so I want to be 2. I want to be this result we'll call 2. But so you think 1 and 1, I got to get 1 and 1 to get to 2. No, feel the results you want as if it already happened, and then 1 and 1 will follow. I should be charging you guys for this information. And it's like the mirror effect. A lot of different stuff has been written about all of that, but in quantum physics and in those fields of knowledge, uh, there's a lot of stuff where you might be able to manipulate. It's not going to be a result overnight, you know. Oh, Kimmy says, I'm trying to manifest my son to be healthy. He's in need 30 days. Yeah, I lost a good friend of mine, young, that was diabetic and he was on dialysis. I lost a close friend, two, actually, my two close friends of life to that. And it was terrible. It's hard to, it's hard. So what would you say in this situation, Kimmy? What would you say in this situation? If I just said 1 and 1 is 2, so the result would be the kidney, okay? But 1 and 1 is I need a donor and then the operation. So we're just making the equation. Feel the feeling. Yes, that's it. I ain't got to school you on this. Feel the feeling as if it already happened. See, I feel the feeling that I already have 1,000 subscribers and I'm already happy about it. I'm already happy about it. Thank you, folks. I got 1,000 subscribers. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. Let reality catch up to that feeling. It might not be overnight, but it will come into fruition. We're just not, even Jesus said it in biblical stuff, in the stuff that was eliminated. But the Pope and the editors of the Bible and the composers of the Bible, they left it out. They left it out. Yeah. So feel, Kimmy, feel the feeling as if it already happened. Feel the feeling that the joy and the thankfulness, that thankfulness is a key part too. The thankfulness that already happened. It sounds crazy, but people don't be robots out there. We're not just helpless little human beings at the mercy of the world. Yeah, the world will try to smash you down and everything, but we have more power than we're conformed and conditioned to believe that we are, you know? So, yes, I'm so elated that your son got a kidney. I'm so elated. Yeah, I'm so elated. So I'm gonna end it there. God bless you. And I'm thankful that he got his kidney and he's going to be off of dialysis, and feel that feeling. Manipulate the equation. We're not just whatever happens, happens. And then people like to play the violin and tell their boo-hoo story. No, no. We are from a divine spark, of God's spark. We just don't know how to utilize it in a trajectory of our lifespan. So we went from bodies in the river to manifesting reality. You get it all here, folks. You get everything here. That's all. Tell your friends to come join me, subscribe, and all that kind of stuff. Share, subscribe, like, comment. I don't ask all the time, but if I try to help, I don't have a lot. I'm not wealthy and all that kind of stuff. So bodies in the Niagara River, gambling rings, and raise your spirit, raise your mental health, try to have good relationships. So we'll leave it at that. I appreciate all you folks coming in here, helping old man out. If you want to buy the book, They Dead Miss, I hardly ever sell stuff on here. I don't, They Dead Miss, Amazon books, help a guy out. I'm eating bologna sandwiches. Come on. But you get a lot you get a lot here. Mike Francis has got his hand out all the time. Buy this, buy wine, buy that, blah, 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 blah. They're having that. They're trying to reconstruct with cells. Well, I'll tell you something. We don't the technology of Kimmy, the medical technology that we think that we're aware of and how far medicine has come to the year 2023. They have more cures for everything under the sun, but this is just a money game with doctors and hospitals and insurance companies. It's a medical game because they can produce or regenerate animal kidneys or any cellular uh, manipulation, but it's just not made aware to society because it's a big money game. You know, you two have a great Christmas, Kimmy, Mr. Spataro. Mr. Spataro, maybe I don't thank you enough. Thank you for riding with me all the time. You know, I have not seen a doc in 20 years. Medicine comes from nature. Of course, holistic nature. Why do you think the Chinese live to 120 years old? In America, life expectancy dropped. How would all the technology and science in the United States of America, life expectancy dropped? Yeah. Now, if you see the commercials, this video is going to run out because of my power. These pharmaceutical commercials on TV are sickening. They're all Mama Luke's and all these stupid situations. And then the side effects, there's 85 side effects. That's worse than this condition you might believe you have. Well, geez, doc, I've been staring at the wall. Well, we got a medicine. For some reason, you know, I like walking outside. Well, we got some medicine for that. You know, I mean, this is just getting insane, but you know, we can go along with all this stuff that could piss us off, and I do. I'm very animated and I'm bipolar. Everybody's bipolar. But yeah, the side effect, death, may cause death. Well, here, okay. I stubbed my toe. Let me take this crap, and then it might cause death. You know, everybody's hypochondriac. They're conditioning you and brainwashing people. They're getting you in. They're getting you on the medical freaking conveyor belt or merry-go-round. So we got to look at these things. There's a lot of situations, but we have to stay in this mindset because all these things in the peripheral could piss us off. But there's relationships, family, friends, and everything else. And yeah, just put on the white coat. And yeah, okay, doc. I believe you, doctor. I believe you. Okay, you got some Oxycontin for me? You got some morphine for me? Yeah, you got some other crap for me? Yeah. But when I say at the end of my videos, I say be the kings and queens of your world. It's just not a saying. We are from divine spark. Expand our minds. See and try these things I talked about, manifesting things, or just even if you're trying to manifest something and the tools are that is better thinking and more positive mental health, then it's worth it anyways. It's worth it anyways. Oh, the job, the kids, the spouse, oh, geez, the bills. And yeah, that's going to happen. But you can't talk and act like victims and wait for an answer to come from somewhere else. You are the answer. You are the king. You are the queen. Bring this stuff out. It's not hocus pocus. There is a matrix out there. Time, space, and matter. And your thinking waves, your waves of your thinking waves can affect that. We're not going to get into all that. I only got 1% battery left on my computer. So maybe you can investigate some of that stuff and then just see what happens. That's all. So was my mom, Kimmy. So was my mom. Them doctor bums and all that stuff. But I've put that aside and because there's a lot of things I could focus on that will piss me off, but there are a lot of bright, happiness, positive things I could focus on and laugh and have fun. And the world is going to be the world, and we're all going to rise up and prosper and have good lives, good relationships, and we're going to rock and roll, and we're going to laugh and be thankful. Laugh and be thankful. And whatever, that's another key in your vibe, your vessel, your tuning fork. And you'd be surprised that stuff that might be drawn into your world by accident or coincidence. There's no such thing as coincidence. So thank you, Kimmy, for that input. Yeah. Yeah. And wake up and be thankful for the great day that you're going to have. You know, you set the thermostat on the wall to 75. Wake up thankful for this good day that I'm going to have. And yeah, maybe some things may come at me. I accept it. Things are going to happen that I might not agree with, or I might get pissed off, but that's all right. That's all right. It's okay. Yeah. 75. So I appreciate Kimmy's I need content. We got bodies in the Niagara River. We got manifesting reality. We got them bad doctors. We do it all here. We do it all. Tell a friend, share, like, share, comment, subscribe, donate, buy my book, do 2 backflips while you're at it. But number one, be healthy. Be healthy. You're a smart person too, Kimmy. You're very smart. We are able to control that. Don't get pissed off about things that are out of your control. There's a number of things that we don't have control of that we could just say, well, that pisses me off, that pisses me off, that pisses me off. Well, geez, now my blood pressure is going up. I'm going to have an ulcer. Oh, switch that mindset, because I get aggravated. I don't watch the news anymore. I do not watch the news once in a while just to see current event, whatever, the election or stuff like that. But no. So I want to stay. I'm 60 now, 60 years old, and I smoke and I drink coffee. What are you gonna do? Not the healthiest thing. I chain smoke on my videos. I'm going to do the things I enjoy for as long as I can do them. That's all. Oh, well, you should. Well, that's what I do. The people that are telling me quit smoking, a lot of them are, I don't mean to, but they have a few extra pounds on them. So I don't tell them stop eating Twinkies. I don't know. I don't want to be personal insulting, but we do what we do. Yes, we should be aware to try to, I hear you, Kimmy. Where are you from? Did you already tell me where you're from in the prior thing? Because, we went from bodies in the Niagara River. We went from bodies in the wood chipper. We went to, all right. It's nice down there. Is that near Del Lago? Yeah, okay. So that's it. Oh, okay. So you get it all here for the Truth Serum. My subscribers going up. I was frozen. So I'm going to manifest. I'm manifesting. And I manifested joy and laughter already because I says I'm going to be happy. So I said I'm going to be happy. So then the laughter followed. So feel it. It'll follow. Follow. It gets sickening though, telling all these mob stories sometimes, because I don't know. It's recycled stuff, but I put it out there. I'm honest. you know, because these wise guys would never like social media. And here's that guy, Joe, that comes out 30 years later and he's talking about this. It ain't the way it goes with that, you know, that's not the way it goes, you know, especially Mike Francis and Sammy the Bogravano. I mean, I thought it was a secret fraternity. I wasn't made, so I didn't take the oath. I didn't take the oath. So I wasn't made. But there's your secret fraternity, Mike Francis and Sammy the Bull Gravano, telling all kinds of lies left and right. But it's entertaining. It's entertaining. So that's how that goes, my good people. I started out to do a 12-minute video. It is an hour long. No regrets. No regrets. No regrets. So stay in touch, Kimmy. And whoever come in here. Spataro always rides with me. That's cool. And another thing, these guys, they all have immunity because they rat it. They have immunity because they were rats with the FBI. They could talk about all kinds of stuff. Well, you know, I mean, I never was a part of anything, but you know, if I saw a murder, I couldn't come on here and say it or something like that. I mean, I never did. You know, but they all have immunity. Whoever you see mobster doing a YouTube channel means they worked with the FBI. That's easy to say. So thank you, everybody. Happy holidays. Be the kings and queens of your world. The world is a vampire. It might want to take a little blood, but no. You got a remedy for that. Just keep your spirits up. And don't get too depressed. A lot of the dinner table at Christmas doesn't look the same anymore as it did 10 years ago. Those seats are empty. Everybody's gone. So, but we got to rise up. It's okay. We'll see them again some other place. I took a visit there and I came back. Read my book. So don't sweat that stuff. Nobody's gone forever. You communists, don't think like that. All right. Thank you. God bless you all. I don't know if I'm going to do another video before Christmas. I probably will. Am I lying to myself? And keep subscribing and share, like, comment, or whatever at the least. You don't have to buy that great book I wrote. You don't have to donate to the channel or whatever. Like I'm begging, but just do that. Like, share, comment, subscribe. It's free. It's free. Thank you, folks. God bless you guys. Thank you for helping me out in the comments. Talk to you soon. Thank you.